Hey everyone, it's Joe and
Michael
from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, selling you the best bullion bars and coins, shipped to you worldwide from Melbourne in Australia. What are we doing?
It's not quite a what do we call it, an epic buybacking, but a lot of this is a buyback that we did. So what we're doing is kind of highlighting some of the stuff that comes into the store, and some of the stuff you can spice up your stack with.
Yeah.
So it's not the standard bullion bars or coins that we get from around the world, Royal Mint, Perth Mint, Royal Australian Mint, the Canadian Mint, that type of stuff. It's older coins or more unusual coins types of things.
Right. We call this maybe like a non-bullion buybacking, something like that.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Now, why do I say non-bullion?
Well, see, in Australia, it's different overseas, but in Australia, if you have a gold content or a silver content, a precious metal content of greater than 99.5%, then it's considered to be bullion grade and doesn't incur GST, all those types of issues.
Got it.
A lot of our older coins, so the ones on top here are sovereigns, and some of the other ones we're going to look at, they're not pure coins, like as in they're not pure gold, pure silver. They're actually usually 22 carat, so around that 90% mark. So they do incur GST. They're not a bullion coin or a bullion bar as such, according to our Australian tax office.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Happy with that?
Happy.
So different things that you can buy. You're still stacking metal. You're still buying gold. You're still buying silver when you buy these types of things. But like I said, they can be 90%. They can be up to 100% silver. 100% precious metal. But sometimes they can be far less. They can be down to 50%. In the case of the SOV, which is what we've got on top here, this still is actually Australian legal tender.
When you say SOV, can you give the complete newbie an explanation of what a sovereign is?
So sovereign is a gold coin, 22 carat, a little bit over 90% gold.
Yep.
It was a circulated coin back right up until about late 1950s, I think was the last they produced, into the 60s probably.
Yep. And going back to when?
1855.
Something like that, yeah.
Just referring to our numismatic expert in the background. So 1855 they started producing them. So they're not pure gold because they were for circulation, and pure gold being such a soft metal.
So it's kind of it was like the dollar in your pocket.
Yeah, it was very much so. But
when gold was real money.
When gold was real money.
Yeah.
The sovereign in particular was produced around the world. We did produce them in Australia in several of the different mints around Australia. They've produced in India for a while. They've been produced in South Africa. They've been produced in the UK, obviously, because that's where they originated. And also Canada was the other one. I think that's all of them. So you can get them from all around the world. But they're a great coin because these ones aren't particularly old. This one's from the 50s. But some of them, you can go, like I said, right back to 1855. So they can be 100-year-old gold that's sitting in your collection. And there's something about it that just... I don't know, it adds an interest, it adds a spice, it adds a flavour to your sack. It's not just a standard 1 ounce gold bar. It's, gold from a different era, from a different generation.
Absolutely. Of history,
and can be from different places around the world. They're around about 1/4 of an ounce. They're just slightly over in the SOVs, 1/4 of an ounce of pure gold, or AGW, gold weight.
The actual troy ounce is 0.2354 of a troy ounce.
Yeah. So, just under. I think I said just over.
Yeah, it's just under.
It's actually just under.
Yeah, 0.2354.
So you can get things like that. And yes, you pay more than spot for them, even though they're a buyback. You're not paying a lot though. They incur GST. So you'll find on our website, I think the price is about spot plus 10%. So that's your GST component. And there's always that play, and we can go into it another day, where if you take them out of the country, you can actually claim the GST back. So you're buying gold at spot in that case.
That's a whole nother video, particularly when you go to a certain country which has a certain tax on a certain other precious metal, and then you go back and forth. Anyway, that's a whole thing.
So we've got SOVs in stock. They'll be up on the website. They're just a random. Don't say, have you got an 1873 sovereign from the Perth Mint? No, look, I'm sorry. The random ones are random ones, and you get what you get sort of thing.
Yep.
But the other thing you can get, what have we got here? So $200 coins. These are Australian $200 coins.
Explain that, please.
So for a short period of time, the Royal Australian Mint produced $200 coins for circulation.
Now, as in $200 fiat value, right?
Fiat value.
Yep.
Coins. So back when $200, their gold value was actually not far off their intrinsic tender value.
Oh, there you go.
So when they first came out.
Okay.
So they produced them for circulation, although they were never really put out in circulation too much.
Yeah.
And they did produce a proof version as well.
And they're 22 carat as well?
They're 22 carat as well. And there's I'm going to guess, there's about a dozen different designs on the $200 coin. So it's another way. It's a part of our history, although it's later history. They were produced in the 80s and possibly into the 90s. I'd have to check that.
Yep.
So
they will be on the website as well?
Yeah, they'll be on the website as well. And then you don't have to stay in Australia. We've got a bit of a combination on here. So there's another sob in there. So there's actually a New Zealand $200 coin there. You can get, this one's a Beijing to London. I'm assuming it's a UK one because it's in £2. So you can get them from around the world. The other one that I wanted to highlight though is this one here.
What's it called?
I'm going to say it. I don't think we'll get into trouble for it because we're into the video a bit more. These are actually 100 Corona coins.
Aha.
So they're date stamped 1908, although they're a restrike.
Okay.
So.
And now, where does the Corona come from? I just said it twice. We're demonetized. It's all done. The channel's over. Where do they come from?
Well, these ones I'm assuming are Austrian, although I haven't had a closer look.
Yep.
Yeah. The Corona was used by a couple of different countries through Europe.
Okay.
But these are Austrian Coronas. They are not pure gold. You're indicating something to me like I was meant to know something.
Oh, no, not at
That's
all.
right. Okay.
No, not at all.
So with this one, you're getting a completely different flavour. So you're getting Austrian gold, you're not getting Australian gold.
Yep.
You're getting an Austrian currency, 100 kronas, you're not getting that Australian dollar currency. It's not pure gold, but it's a high content and it's made for circulation, which is again why they do that, not making them pure. This one is been redated, if you like, or restruck, or what's the other term I'm looking for, Matt?
Restrike?
Yeah, restrike, yeah. So, overdated.
What does that mean?
So these were actually produced after 1908,
okay,
but were stamped 1908.
How can they do that?
How can... Well,
I
do whatever they like, they're a government.
But that's weird, don't you think?
Yeah, it is, but it was... I mean, there's a whole variety of reasons out there why they do it. You know, they've already got the dies made. It's easier just to remake them.
Okay. There's
probably legislation already in place for the making of those, so they don't have to go and get approval to produce X number of, new currency.
Okay.
There's a lot of hidden reasons in the background why they can be made, but it's a fairly common date stamp because they made it for several years.
Gotcha.
So you don't pay a lot for them. Again, as far as coins go, as far as bullion goes, you might be paying that little bit more for an older bullion coin. Like I said, they're spot plus 10%, which covers the GST component of it.
Yep.
But they just add that character, that flavour, that interest to your stack.
Spice, if you will.
The spice to it.
Sure.
So don't be shy of getting these. They are still going to increase in value as spot does, as a bar of gold will. But it just adds that fascination, that extra little bit of kick to it. And it's something you can talk about with friends and family. Look, this is what I've got, This is why I stack gold.
Right. Those
types of conversations can come out of these types of coins. So we'll throw some up on our website. They will be available. It wasn't actually the reason I was doing it. It was more just to highlight the fact that you can step outside the basics. You can step outside I want a Perth Mint 1 ounce gold, I want a locally produced 2 ounce gold. You can step out into these coins and have a look at the other side, the dark side of stacking, the coin side, the numismatic side.
Fantastic. So people of the world, spice up your life.
That's right.
There we go. I got it in there. Add some spice, add some flavour to your stack again. We've got the sovereigns right there. We've got the one that we won't mention, and the $200 coins as well. Because, you know, you mentioned it 3 times, then
I did.
Beetlejuice comes out, and then the world ends. So, head over to bullionnow.com.au. Thank you very much, kind sir. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And of course, that's it from me.
And from me too.
See you soon.
See ya.